All right, so this is the inside tour. So as soon as you come in, you see on your left, you see this main power switch. So this should be always on because your house battery is right under here. That's the one that powers the house part of the RV. And then you have the engine battery, which powers the engine side. So as you can see, you'll see how many volt you have right now. It's 13.6, which is perfect because we added a solar panel. So the solar panel is always topping it off. So remember, this house battery gets charged when you drive, when you run the generator, when you plug into the 30 amp at the campground, and then through the solar panel. So 4 ways is always getting charged. So you'll notice, especially if you're boondocking somewhere, for like few days, at least once a day, check your voltage here. 13.6, even 13, up to 12.5, you're good. So that's what it is. And this is your main power switch. So if this is turned off, let's say if the kids play with it and they turn it off, it will disconnect the power to the house battery and nothing will work inside. So make sure this is always on. So you have step lights here. The step light. This is the awning I was talking about to deploy the awning in and out. And then this is your main light switch. This switch right here, as you can see, this is your main light switch. And then this one is nice LED light outside when you set up the chairs by the awning. That's the switch for that. And then you have outlet connection here. Let me see if I can turn the phone this way better. Maybe this way better. Let's see. All right, so you have additional table here. All you have to do these things, you just pull them, then pull down. Pull up. And then when you want to plug them back, just plug them so that they don't rattle. That's why we put mainly on all of the compartments, we put these things so that they don't rattle or they just move by themselves while you're driving. So this here, all you have to do is just open this up and then lift up the table. And you have additional table to work on. And as you can see, when you fold it back, make sure you fold both of them same time. Fold them in and then we'll fold. So I cannot do that with one hand, but yeah. So that's that. So, and if you go up here, you're right next to the sink up, this is your control board. So this way you control. So, all right. So this RV has a 40-gallon water tank. So we always give you full tank of water, full tank of propane, and then full tank of fuel. So if you basically want to use water right now, you're not connected to city water, and then you want to use water, take shower, or if you're boondocking or wash dishes, you always, if you want the sinks to work, you always need to turn on the water pump. So this is your water pump switch. So you just turn it on. And I'm talking about if you're gonna be getting water from the 40-gallon fresh tank of this RV. But if you plugged into the city water with the hose, you don't need water pump. Remember that. All right, so just you turn that on and then let's turn on the faucet. You hear the water pump flowing? Yeah. So the pressure obviously coming from the water tank is not the highest, but when you plug the city water, you get more higher pressure. So you can plug that. Yeah. So that's basically how you can use water. If you're on a flush toilet, stuff like that, always use water pump. And remember, if you're not using it, it's good to turn it off so that you can preserve, your battery power. If it's always on and if you're not using it, it's gonna take power from the battery little by little. So you don't want that. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is your water heater switches. So if you decide to heat up your water via propane because you're not plugged into the 30 amp electricity from the campground, you can use the LP switch. But if you plugged in, use the 110 switch. And then once you do that, give it about 10-15 minutes, test the water, and then you can be able to take a shower. But after you finish, obviously it's good to, if you're not going to use it for another one day, just turn it off so that you can preserve your propane, you don't take more propane too. Yeah. All right, so that's that. And remember, your 40-gallon tank, at least if you decide to use water heater, at least make sure you're not empty on your 40-gallon freshwater tank. For example, right now, fresh water, right? So this button, let me see, I don't see, yeah, this button right here. So you just, these things are to see where you are. Like you have your propane button, you have your battery. Battery is the house battery that I'm standing on the steps. That's the battery. So if you press it, you see your propane, you see the lights illuminate. So all the way full is full. Battery is full. When you press down, that's how you get fresh water. The 40-gallon tank I was talking about, that's full. That's how you know. But so if you decide to use water heater, make sure at least you have a half a tank, between 1/3 to 2/3 of fresh water. If you're empty, it's gonna damage the water heater. So make sure you remember that. And then the black and gray switches, the black is to show you how much your black tank has, how much the toilet, how much it has, but they don't work. They're not really accurate anymore. So even if you press them, right now it's empty. We dumped everything, the gray, the black, and then deodorized the tanks, but the sensors, they don't work. So don't really rely on it. As you can see, when I press it, shows it has 2/3, but that's not true. But the gray is accurate. Yeah, you see the gray is accurate. So the gray you can rely on. It shows you empty. Yeah, if you dump once a day, at least for the black, if you use it, that's good. The gray, yeah, once a day. And remember, the gray, if you get full, how do you know? Of course, it will show you full, and then whenever you use the sink, the water is not gonna drain. It's just gonna come up. The same thing with the shower. So if that happened to you, just in case, you can't go on the side of the freeway and connect the hose, the dump hose, and then dump only the gray, relieve the gray valve, and then you can dump only the gray to the side of the freeway. That's not a problem. Make sure the black definitely has to be at the designated RV park. So that's that. So just to keep an eye. Obviously, the most tank that gets filled up quickly is the gray, because that's the shower, the sink, and all that. The black doesn't get filled up much. All right, so that's basically control board. What else we mentioned? Yeah, and then this switch right here is your generator. So as I said, your generator works off of your fuel tank. So you have 55-gallon tank, so it's working off of the fuel tank. So make sure you have at least quarter full of gas if you decide to use it. If you go below quarter full, it won't start. So how to start it is basically you have to prime it first. And how do you prime it? By pressing the stop button. You press the stop button right here. You see, I'm pressing stop for like 10-15 seconds. So just hold it for like 10-15 seconds, so that the fuel pump could be ready to be, to get the fuel into the generator and the fuel pump. So you just hold it for like 10-15 seconds, and then we can crank it up. All right. I think it's about 15 seconds. So let's crank it up. I don't know if you hear it, but it's trying to start. Yeah, so now once it starts and it's nice, running smooth, you let go. All right, so now you turn on generator. So now you want to use the roof air conditioner or the outlets or the microwave or the TV, right? That's why you need generator basically. So if you decide to use those things, now you just started it, right? So you got to give it about 5-minute running time. So let it run for 5 minutes before you turn on those things. Yeah, just remember that, because it needs to gather its energy and its power. So really let it run for 5 minutes, then you can be able to use those things. But if you plug in, you don't need to wait 5 minutes. You can turn on any of those things immediately. But generator, you gotta wait. Yeah. And then if you decide to turn it off, make sure you turn off. If the AC is running, make sure you turn off the AC first, and then turn off the generator. And then, as I said, if you decide to start it again, give it about 30 to 45 minute cool down time, because it doesn't like to start right after you turn it off in like 5 minutes. So before you turn it off, make sure that you don't need it for at least 30 to 45 minutes, so that it needs that cool down time, and then you can crank it. All right, so that's basically your control board here. All right, so all these compartments here, the top one, as you see, is all we give you a lot of like anything, oil and salt. You don't want to before you do your shopping, make sure that it's here. If it's here, you don't need to shop. So check your this area first before you shop, so that you can use anything you like here. There's some coffee, some sugar, the coffee for the coffee machine is right here. Yeah, so just check it before you go in. There's some for pasta, for salad stuff is here. All right, and then in the bottom here under the sink you have some brush, and then over here you got anything, the knives, for the propane. If you want to do the outside cooking, you can use these, or if you want to yeah, so that's that. And next is the silverwares, and then next is all the cutting board and anything you want to use. There's many stuff here, plenty of stuff for cooking stuff, so make sure you have it before you buy anything. This one here right below the stove is the cooking stove is your plates and bowls. So plates, bowls, cups, we keep it here. Below it, let's see what we got. Okay, below it, yeah, this is where the pots and pans are. This is where we keep them. All right, so your stove, so basically to use it, you just have to open the cover. It's glass, so just open it up. So let's say we want to use this one, so shows this one, so push and then align it to pilot. So pilot is this one aligned with this arrow, and then your last one is the sparker. So you see, this is your sparker. So you can leave the sparker any position, no problem. But this is how you use your stove. And then if you decide to turn it off, just turn it off. Yeah, make sure it's turned off. Sometimes the kids like to play and then they push and then they turn on. So you might smell propane leak if it's not ignited. You're gonna smell propane leak, and the propane leak detector is right under this the dinette seat. This one. So this one could eliminate. I mean, it's supposed to be like this, green and solid. If it comes up because you know the propane is not closed, the stove is not closed, it's gonna smell it and it's gonna pop up. If there's a lot of perfume, it's gonna come up. Is gonna come up. So make sure, or if people sitting here and they touch it with their feet, the back of their feet, you know, without knowing. So this sound, let me make you hear. You see that? That's the propane. So in case that happens, just check nobody touched it, and then not all these things are shut off. Make sure, you know. So that's basically what trips it. And then if that's the case, just open the windows, open the door, let it, you know, air out, and then yeah, just that's basically how you stop it. You have also another outlet here under the dinette area to plug your to charge your accessories. So basically that's how the stove works. Very simple. Before you drive, just make sure you close it. That's it. Microwave is simple. Above it, oh wow, yeah, you have a lot of like paper towels and cups, use and throw cups, stuff like that. Many things here. Check before you go, before you buy. Plenty of stuff. You know, people always leave. We buy stuff. All right, so what's the next one? Right here, right by the entrance, the cab over. Yeah, this is where your DVD player is. It takes a Blu-ray DVD, so Blu-ray DVD, and then your coax cable. If the campground provides you cable access, cable TV, you have your coax cable here. You have your remotes are here for the DVD, for the TV, extension cord. You have some extension cord just in case these outlets sometimes if they don't work, you can use the extension cord and plug it to the bottom one by the sink, and then plug the TV and the DVD to the extension cord. So that way you have like just in case that happens, if you blow a fuse or something. All right. And then this is your refrigerator. So as you can see, this is you have your refrigerator. So right now it's on auto, solid orange light on auto. So that means when you plug into 30 amp, we'll switch to electricity. So if you happen to see the check light come up, that means the propane in the back of the fridge shut off. So that means eventually your food is gonna get warmer and warmer. So you don't want to do that. So that doesn't happen usually, but just in case, that's what it is. So you want it always on auto, and then solid orange light. You want to see that. At least check once a day, just in case, you never know. But if that happens to you, turn it off and then turn it on again. So that's supposed to try to ignite it again. So, and then if also if you hear a beeping sound coming from the fridge, that's also because the propane in the back just for something turned off. Let's say if you run out of propane without knowing, and then the fridge cannot work because you're not plugged in. So that means it's gonna shut off, you know, by itself, and then you're gonna hear the beeping and check light come up. So that's basically the how it works. But usually it doesn't do that. But that's just for you to know what the purpose is. And then you always want it to like that. So if somebody touches it and turn off, and then no light is here, that means the refrigerator is not working. So your freezer right now, these things you just have to press and then pull. So freezer is ready. Whew, ice cold. Right, and then this one, just same idea, push and then pull. Fridge is ready. Yeah. All right, so that's that. And then below it, here is where below your fridge is where your trash is. You have your trash here, and then replacement bags are here. And a lot of like cleaning supplies. Some if you do some laundry stuff, some laundry soap. You know, yeah. So that's basically where that is. This is your bed. And then above it, all the compartments here, you have extra storage. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, storage. Yeah, storage. Sometimes it's winter, we provide the blankets, we keep them there. If you turn around here, this compartment right here is yeah, where your fresh towels are. Yeah, that's where it is. Then you have more storage. And then below it, this one is what it is. It has just another storage. This is your heater. So this is your heater. So the thermostat is right above your bed. So if you decide to use it, you just control the amount, and then basically that's how you use your heater. As I said, it's powered by the propane. And then your light, you have a light here. You have also vents here, so these vents you can open them up. But before you drive, make sure you close them because they don't have a dome for like some of the RVs. They don't have a dome on top of them, so when you drive, close them because you don't want to the wind break them. And then when you close them, right, you just turn them, and then when you feel resistance, that's when you stop. Sometimes if you keep turning, they're gonna strip and they're gonna break. So just when you feel resistance, you know that's when to stop. They're kind of sensitive. All right. Okay, what else? All right, on this side, by the dinette side, the compartments, you have more storage, and then on this side you have rice cooker, humidifier, and then on this side you have your coffee maker, electric tea kettle, toaster. What's behind that? Something there. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff here. All right. Okay, so next let's go to the restroom. So yeah, restroom, pretty big for RV. You'll be surprised. Yeah. So this restroom. So one thing to note on this restroom. So this is how you flush it. You just press this down. So this sensitive, it broke on us a few times. So one thing we recommend is when you press it, kind of you have to be facing the toilet, and don't and then make sure your feet is straight facing the toilet, and then slowly press it down, because it's kind of sensitive, so we don't want anything to happen to it, so just align your feet like straight to it, not like on the side or like that, or so slowly, and then just press down slowly, and then that's how you flush. Make sure you're plugged into city water or your water pump is on, obviously. And then we recommend if you can not throw the toilet paper in the toilet, if you can. If you can throw it in the trash. I think, I don't see the trash for here, but that kind of protects the tank from not clogged by toilet papers or by hygiene supplies. So don't throw anything in the toilet if you can. If you can't, it's okay, but just a tip, to protect the toilet. But so just a slow press, straight align with your feet with that, and then slow press. That just you have to be gentle on it. And then this compartment here, you got a lot of extra toilet papers. So you have this deodorizer for the toilet. So you use this, basically it's a toilet, it's to deodorize the toilet. So you dump one, you throw one in the toilet, and then flush for about 30 seconds. But remember, the toilet has to be empty. Once you dumped and it's empty, then you can throw these things one, and then you can make sure you flush for 30 seconds because it needs more water to go all the way down. So it's just to deodorize your tank on an empty tank. If you could do that once every 2 days or 3 days, your tank will smell good. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is where the toilet, this is where the trash can for the toilet is. So maybe you can put it here on this side, take it out, put it here on this side, and then just throw toilet stuff, the paper in that instead of the toilet. So that's that. So that's basically what's in here, and anything else is simple. You have this fan here, but make sure your the thing is open, the vent. Then you can use your fan. But remember, if you close the door, the toilet door, the restroom door, and then go up, it's easy to forget the fan running. So if you're not plugged into the campground, and then you go hiking, come back, and this running is gonna drain your house battery. So be careful. Remember that if you decide to use it, make sure you turn it off. If you're plugged in, it's okay, but if you're not plugged in, and if you're running for 3, 4, 5 hours, it's gonna drain your house battery. So just be careful with fans. And then you have many, here shampoo, body wash, stuff like that. So pretty good on that. What else in here? Yeah, you have hair dryer here. All right, so that's basically the restroom. Okay, what else? All right, so you have this kind of RV queen, it's not technically a regular queen, but RVs, they have this RV queen in between full and queen. So that's that, 2 people here. And then you can sleep 2 people in this dinette. I'll show you how to convert it into a bed. And then obviously the cab over, you just have to, you bring this top to the gap here. You put it here, you fill the gap, put the sheets, and then and then you can be able to sleep. So this is another full size bed. Yep. So what else is in here in this compartment? See above, below the dinette couch. Oh yeah, so you have lanterns here, some sunscreen stuff you can use, plenty of stuff. Okay, So if you decide to turn this into a bed, make sure you remove the cushions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove the cushions, because the goal is to bring this table to this lip here. You see this lip here? We're gonna bring the table. We're gonna press down the table and then lay it flat on this lip. So then once it's laid flat, you can connect the cushions and then you can make bed. So how to do that is basically right now, as you can see, it's on lock position. So this is the lever. So it's right here. It's lock. Traveling position is where it's supposed to be, right here. So if you decide to use it, just press down and then just remove it, and then turn it this way. Now it's turn it this way. So now once you do that, and then you just press the table down from inside. See how it goes down? See how it goes down? So right now, of course, I didn't remove the cushions, but yeah, it goes down and it's gonna go all the way down to this lip here. And then now you're ready for putting bed. So remember, these tables, they're not the strongest because the support system is all the way in the back. So make sure you don't put any heavy luggage or lean on it, the kids, or stand on it. It's not that kind of table, so please be gentle on it. And then when you lift it up to bring it back to the table position, don't put all the pressure on this side lifting from here. Make sure you lift from the middle as much as you can. Of course, once it's all the way in here, it's hard to put your finger here to get it up from there, but maybe you can use from here a little bit up. Then once it's up, you can put your fingers on both sides, your hand, and then lift it up from top. And then basically bring back this latch back to the hole where it used to be. There's the hole at the end, kind of, I don't know if you can see it. Bring it back to, right now of course it's not ready, but I need to lift it up all the way, but I can show you just a second. So I lift it up all the way, and then you see it was on this side. Now I can put it back on this side, but you see it's not all the way lifted up, that because I'm just using one hand and recording with one hand. But yeah, so I think, yeah, you see it went all the way in. Yeah, so when you drive, you want it to be all the way in here so that it doesn't sink on you when people are sitting and then driving. So you want it to latch all the way in that hole, you see. Then you're safe, you're secure, and then it's not going down anywhere. So that's how you make your bed basically for the dining area. All right, so yeah, so privacy shade. So privacy shade, to keep your privacy, is we keep it behind the fridge all the time. So this so one side of the privacy shade has a Velcro. So how it works is you have two options to block your privacy. You see these things here, right above the passenger seat. You have this on this side. What is about on this side? I don't see it on this side. Yeah, so it must be dropped. Where is it? Yeah, so basically how it works is you start from here, and then another one here by the passenger area, one here, and then the sun visor. Behind the sun visor there's a few of them. I don't know if you see, behind the sun visor there's a few of them. So you tap the Velcro side of the shade, another one on the driver's side here, you see. So they're all around this tag point, so you just connect like that. And it's supposed to have one on this side. I don't know where it went. Yeah, so it's supposed to have the end one, is supposed to be on this side above the driver's seat, and then that's how you block your privacy so that people don't see from inside. So that's basically how it works. But if this disappeared, I don't know where it went, but you can put something here to hold it, something heavy or something to hold it, like on this side, and then you can plug your privacy, so you can still have access to the cabin area, and then your passenger window, windshield front, and that's all covered by the shade. So remember, we keep it behind the fridge. Behind the TV. Sorry about that. And then, all right, so if you decide to use the TV, make sure that this is brought back here and it's flat, because it's kind of heavy, because this is the wood part. The bottom is wood because to cover this gap. So you're gonna have to pull that back. Oh yeah, and then if you decide to use the kids or anybody else to sleep on top, make sure this is your ladder here. So this ladder obviously goes, once this is on this side, this ladder goes in here like that. Yeah, just make sure the ladder latches in those holes. And then once basically this is on this side, come completely fill the gap, and then put the ladder, and then use the ladder to go up and down, because sometimes some kids like to climb the bed, stepping from the dining couch here, and then, but these things are not strong, they're gonna get broken, So please don't step on here to jump on the cup of our bed. Use always the ladder, please. Yeah, so that's that. So if you decide to use a TV, make sure this is all the way down, and then if you want to bring the TV this way, you loosen here. You see there's a this thing, you loosen it a little bit, maybe halfway, and then you can pull the TV this way so that people sitting on the dining area can watch. Or if you just want to watch like while lying down, you don't have to. You can leave it right there, and basically that's how it works. And then before you drive, obviously bring it back to the wall and then latch it back to lock position, and then it's not gonna move by itself. All right, so then this is your antenna. If you decide to grab some local channels, how it works is just push up and then turn it around. Actually, there's an arrow, so arrow shows. Let me see. Arrow shows this way, so push up and then turn it this way. So you can just turn the antenna on top, push up and then turn. That's how you can grab local channels. So that's your antenna, and then this one is your smoke detector. All right, so now it's been over 5 minutes, so let's test the AC, right? So as you can see right now it's off. So remember, this is only AC, air conditioner, no heater here. Heater is by the bed. So you go clockwise basically to go to high. So you have 5 settings. So obviously the base setting is the 5th one, which is high cool. So to get to that, you go like clockwise. So you go step by step, not like quickly. So you go so you see 1 low fan, then high fan, low cool, and then high cool. Up to you, depends where you want to start, but high cool is the best. So once it's on this position, give it another 4-5 minutes, and then more cold air will come. So basically that's how your AC works. So that's very simple. So if you want to turn it off, counterclockwise to off. So basically another 5 steps. So step by step, back to off. That's how you do. And then this is, as you can see right now, is maximum cold. That's how you get, because the thicker part of the blue is on this side. So that's the maximum cold. So basically that's how it works. So remember, this air conditioner, it works off of outside temperature. So sometime in June, July, August in Vegas, about 118. So you might bring it down to, in the RV, maybe 30 degree down. It's not like house. The same thing with the refrigerator. So if it's too hot outside, they don't perform their best because they're not like house. So remember that. So if it's under 18 outside, maybe it's gonna bring it to 90, 95. So that's just how it is with RVs. So the higher the cooler the outside, the better they perform. But obviously Utah, if you go up, the higher elevation. Here in Vegas, about 2,000 above sea level. But anyway, like if the higher you go, like Utah, California, they're 6,000, 5,000, 7,000 feet above sea level. So it gets cool over there. So these things perform better. But Arizona obviously is the same like here, even more hotter. So, or if you decide to stay just around Nevada in July, August, obviously remember they're not the best. You're not gonna get that perfect cooling temperature like house. So that's basically how it works. I can turn it off right now so I can get so I just go step by step. Go back, go back, go back, go back. And right now I can just to turn off the generator, just press stop. You hear that? That's it. Once press stop and then that's done. So all right, so we're almost done. So all right, so below your bed, this is the control box. So this is where the breakers are and everything. So if you want to check them out, just lift up and then this way you check your breakers. So remember, when you guys plug in stuff in these outlets, for example, let's say bread toaster, tea kettle, laptop, coffee maker, that kind of stuff, make sure you plug, maybe you use 2 things at a time. If you plug like 4 things, except cell phone is okay. But if you plug like any of those higher power things, like more than 2, breaker might trip. So just remember that, maybe use two at a time and then you can switch around. So and then if something trips, that's why you check. Make sure it's nothing tripped, just push them back to maximum. And then the fuses are not loose. Yeah, that's how you check basically. But if you do that, you will be good. Don't overload the system. Especially like, yeah. So that's that. And then one of them have the GFC, but one of the outlets have the, I don't know if it's in the restroom. Yeah, so the one in the restroom is the one that reset. In case the outlets don't work, you can reset all of them from the restroom. So just press here and then you can reset them just in case that happens. All right, so I guess that's almost the end of the inside tour. And then driving aspect, yeah, so that's driving aspect simple. If you have any experience driving a box truck, a U-Haul truck. It's very similar because RVs are, you know, similar to that. But just, you know, make sure you have a good gap in between cars. Speed, you know, between 65, 75. That's basically the speed. And then remember, when you drive on a freeway, if a truck passes you, oh my gosh, you will feel the shake. So make sure you both your hands are on the wheel, because these trucks, they drive 85 miles an hour on the freeway, you know, compared to the Europe standard. It could be a little bit, you know, so make sure the RVs have a tendency, because of all the heaviness, they have a tendency to shake. So if you have your steering wheel on you, you're not going to be surprised. Or if it's a windy day, same thing, you know, on the freeway. So make sure you have both of your hands on the steering wheel. And then you have a backup camera. So as soon as you go reverse, you have a backup camera. That's good. If you request the Wi-Fi, we give it to you here. That's an add-on. So just follow the instructions. It's very simple. Your registration is in the local apartment. Let me see. Yeah. And then what else is in here? Oh, you got some fuse here too. Yeah, some fuse. Registration is there. All right, so let's start the car. So when you start the car, just put the key in, and then use this instead of the key, because this thing is heavy. So using the key is just the key, putting your finger, it's kind of tough. So use this part. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, use this part to turn on. Yeah, use this part, and then you can just turn this to start it. See that? Yeah, that's how I started. So if you happen to go through super uphill or downhill roads, I recommend turning the tow haul. So super uphill or downhill roads, using tow haul is really good. It gives the energy more power. So this button right here, so I just press it, you'll see it come up. See that tow haul? Super uphill or downhill roads, use this. And if you want to go back to flat, you can turn it off. Or you can also downgrade to, of course, you use the D. But if you go super uphill or downhill roads, you can downgrade to 4 or 2 or 1. It depends. You just have to listen to the engine, how it's performing, and be based on that. And the air conditioner is simple. You just use this air conditioner feature, normal, maximum AC. This is how you control the fan. And then your lights, your main lights are this one. So you just, you know, use that. And then obviously these RVs, when you close the door for like 10-15 seconds, all the marker lights will illuminate. So it's not because you forgot the light, but just that's how it is. Every time you close it and open the door, when you park in a supermarket or something, they come up. So that's just it's because it just the marker lights, you know, on top, they'll just go off by themselves. So no worries on that. What else in here? You have some, phone holder here. You keep it below here. And then some flashlight is below here. You got a lot of good stuff here. Okay, so that's basically it. And if you have any questions, you can always call us, text us. We'll be there for you. You have a broom there. So that's basically it. So hope this helps. Enjoy your trip. Have a good time. All right, take care, guys.